everyone's going through something, and we're all just trying to fit in. And I
Mhm.
think at the end of the film, they have this quote that Augie says, and it says, "Be kind to everyone, for everyone is fighting a hard battle." What's up, guys? My name is Ed. This is Marissa, and this is Distant Critics. Now, you guys already know what we're getting into. You see the thumbnail, you see the title. It's the movie Wonder. And before we get into it, we just want to let you guys know that this is our opinions and our opinions alone. So don't get mad at us about what we think about the film. Instead, just let us know what you guys think about the film in the comments down below. Help out that algorithm. If you want, leave a like. It's all good. Now, before we get into what we think about the film, Marissa, please can you let us know a little bit about the film and the plot?
Absolutely, let's do it. Based on the New York Times bestseller, this movie tells the incredibly inspiring and heartwarming story of August Pullman, a boy with facial differences who enters the fifth grade, attending a mainstream elementary school for the very first time.
Okay, so Marissa, you're the one who actually showed me this film, and I want you to go first and what your thoughts were. What'd you think of the movie?
This is one of those films where you have to grab your blanket, grab a tissue, go ahead and crawl into fetal position on your couch and watch this movie. That is the kind of movie that this is, right? It's heartfelt, it's light with heavy emotions, with genuine acting all together. And that's like what makes this movie so great is the actresses and the actors themselves and how genuine they are when they're acting. This cast was well versed, well rounded. You have Jacob Tremblay, Julia Roberts, Owen Wilson, all playing exceptional parts. Um, and this film in general is just a tug on your heartstrings. This movie shows just how hard it is to be accepted in today's society, and I think that's huge for us to listen to right now, and something that we battle all the time because we're constantly trying to fit into society, right? We're constantly trying to look the part, act the part, think the part, and it just kind of, this movie really helps and breaks that stigma
Hmm.
that you can be exactly who you are.
Yeah, look, I love when movies make you feel, and this is one of those
Mm.
movies that make you feel, and I felt everything in this movie. It was such a beautiful film. I thought we were just getting, just a normal story about Augie, um, and that would have been fine. We love underdog stories, and he's just a natural underdog because of his disability. But I loved that they included other people's stories in the film, like
Hmm.
Via and Jake and Miranda. Like I thought that was so cool. And to me, I don't know if this is just me thinking like too much into it, or like this was purposefully done by the director, but instead of just telling Augie's story, they told everyone else's as well, in almost an equal amount apart, to where the director is saying like he's just like one of us. So it's not all about Augie, it's everyone else's
Hmm.
experiences as well. um and that comes through the screen. I think all of them had tremendous chemistry with each other. Julia Roberts, I thought that she was great as the mother. Augie herself, Ava, I mean, all of them, they were really great.
Absolutely. And you can definitely tell too in the beginning of this, you can definitely tell that Augie was struggling to find himself, and in the beginning it was showing those friendships that he was starting to build, and unfortunately there's a little bit of backstabbing, talking behind the back and stuff, but being able to grow from that and see like, yes, not everyone is going to treat me the same way, but that's okay, and I'm okay with who I am. I think that message really portrayed throughout the movie, and exactly what you said too. One of those feel good movies. It had me in my feelings.
Hmm.
It had me in tears. And poor old Daisy. That was my biggest thing too. Was little Daisy. I won't give it away or anything, but I'll say the name of it. Daisy had my heart,
Hmm.
and my heart's still out to her. So just kind of like things like that. And it also, I think it's really interesting when it played from Jack's part, uh, about how hard it is to be friends with or how it can be perceived hard, or how it may be a little bit difficult to be friends with somebody with a disability, right? I think that can also be a huge part, and that's why it was showing Jack and his confusion and turned it into protection and acceptance on his part.
Hmm.
I think this is real life, and there's so many beautiful people in the world that have disabilities, and they're perceived as looking different, but everyone is beautiful in their own way.
Yeah,
So,
and I think that's what's so great about this film is that we can all take something from it in different perspectives of each character, where you know everyone's going through something, and we're all just trying to fit in. And I
mhm,
think at the end of the film, they have this quote that Augie says, and it says, "Be kind to everyone, for everyone is fighting a hard battle." I think that's so true. And then
mhm,
he says, "If you want to really see who people are, all you have to do is look." And
yep.
this film has so many of those strong messages through it. I think that this is a perfect film when it comes to for kids, for adults. I think that the way it was filmed, so many of the stylistic choices that it was filmed and cinematography wise was beautifully done. The scores, just it felt like everything was clicking on all cylinders. I think this movie was almost 2 hours long, but it just flowed
Mhm,
so well that you were completely fine with, rather than the one we just did, Hitman. That one was 2 hours
mhm.
long. It didn't need to be 2 hours long. This one, 2 hours long. I loved that it was 2 hours long. You know?
It could have been a little bit longer for me on my
Yeah,
part. That's how
absolutely.
much I love this movie.
Yeah, I wanted to
And
keep
my
seeing
thing
their
is too,
story.
my yeah, absolutely. And not even just see it from the mom's perspective, the dad's perspective, seeing it from the other parents,
The teachers.
like being the teacher, right? Like all of those. And it's just really like we don't morph into what society deems we should be, right? We need to hold our head high and be authentically ourselves. And that's something that I took away from this movie. And I think this movie has a lot of takeaways.
Hmm. So yeah, this movie is about a kid, but it's so much more. So if you're looking for a movie that has a deep meaning to it, gets you in your feels, you want to, like she said, cry in the corner, you can do that with this film. I strongly recommend this film. Do you also recommend this as well, Marissa?
Oh, I strongly recommend this film. I think you should watch this more than once.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to show this to my wife later on because I absolutely loved it. But we want to know what you guys have to say about this film in the comments down below. If you liked it, if you didn't, whatever your thoughts are, leave them down there.
And if you have any other suggestions on any other movies that you want us to review, please leave a comment down below so we can turn your idea into reality.
And thank you guys so much for joining us today on Distant Critics. Peace.